Hi. Someone recently told me that a friend revealed that she has to sleep with the covers up around her neck because of Barnabas Collins. The person responded, "Wow, that is why we do it?" And when I heard it, I said, "I do that too." I had no idea why. Oh, I remember when I was a teenager, I consciously pulled the covers up around my neck for this very reason. I did not want to wake up with two vampire bites in my neck. Dark Shadows was my favorite TV show. And the mysterious Barnabas Collins was so important to me that I wrote his name in my textbooks. Did I really think a vampire couldn't pull down the covers if he was determined to snack on my blood? Well, sure. As much as I thought the monster under the bed couldn't touch me as long as all my body parts were on the bed. If even a finger hung over the edge, I wasn't safe. But monsters under the bed have rules by which they must live, and I knew the rules. They say that if you give someone a knife, it'll cut your love in two. Do I believe that? No. But I'm not taking any chances. If I ever give you a knife, you will be expected to pay me a penny for it. That's what I learned from my mother. Superstitions have power. They can rule and sometimes ruin our lives. And what we learn in childhood or our teenage years can have long-lasting effects. It's hard to ignore long-held beliefs. Sometimes when we talk to people about religion, they behave the same way I behave regarding other superstitious beliefs, and they voice these thoughts. Sometimes someone will actually say, "I'm too scared not to worship Yahweh." Just in case. They call him God, of course, rather than Yahweh. But that brings out the point that I want to make. God can be many things and many beings. We can fear a vampire. We can fear a monster under the bed. We can fear giving someone a knife. Whatever controls us is our God. But to be safe, shouldn't we follow all the superstitious beliefs and worship all the gods men have concocted? I can make sure my neck is safe, but hang my foot over the bed and still be a goner. Yahweh, and especially Jesus, is not the original God. Even in Judeo-Christianity, all the Judeo religions, Abrahamic religions, Yahweh was not the original God or the head honcho. That was El Elyon. Eventually, yes, Yahweh was conflated with El, and gradually monotheism sprang up in Judaism. So if you want to be safe from things that go bump in the night, be sure to keep your neck covered, sleep in the center of the bed, and don't be thrashing about. It's not enough to be spiritually safe. We need to be physically safe too. You believe in Yahweh, but not Barnabas Collins or the monster under your bed? Why? If there's a monster in the sky, why not a monster under your bed? And if the monster in the sky requires human sacrifice and blood magic to take away sins, why can't the monster under the bed exist and maybe even take your soul or require some sort of sacrifice from you in order not to attack? Or at least that you keep all your body parts on the bed. Maybe that's all you have to do for the monster under the bed. So, maybe the best course of action is to honor all gods and monsters if you want to be safe. If you're going out on the ocean, it's probably wise to toss a little gift into Poseidon. And don't forget Yamm. Do you know that Yahweh, the God of Israel, fought Yamm, the God of the sea? He also fought Mavet, also known as Mot, who was the Canaanite god of death in the underworld. The Hebrew word for death is Mavet, and the Hebrew word for sea is Yamm. So when we see a Hebrew god, Yahweh or Jesus, conquering death or ruling over the sea, he's actually ruling over the gods Mavet and Yamm. We know that the god Baal also battled these two gods. The Hebrew Scriptures have simply been cleaned up to help us forget that the Bible presents many gods. Both Baal and Yahweh conquered Mavet, as did Jesus. And we see a prediction of the deaths of gods in Psalm 82, and the prophecy that Mavet would eventually be swallowed up forever. But some people believe in Yahweh and even worship him, and then scoff at the very existence of Baal, Yamm, and Mavet. That's like thinking Superman is real, but Brainiac and General Zod can't possibly be real. If you acknowledge and honor one, why would you not recognize that they all exist? 1 Kings 19:18 says, "Yet will I leave me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed to Baal, and every mouth which has not kissed him." Yahweh was happy that he had 7,000 people who were still on his side rather than Baal's. He was super jealous of Baal, super jealous of a fake God, super jealous of nothing. Baal didn't exist. He was just a boogeyman, just a monster, if you will. Yahweh knew Baal didn't exist. He was jealous of a figment of people's imagination. These people didn't know Baal from Yahweh. They had seen neither. They prayed and they thought when they prayed that and good stuff came, it came from whatever God they prayed to. Moloch, Baal, Yahweh, Asherah, it was all the same to them. Jeremiah 44:17 says, "But we will certainly perform every word that has gone forth out of our mouth, to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven," or Queen of the Sky, actually, is what it says in the World English Bible, "and to pour out drink offerings to her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings and our princes, in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then we had plenty of food, and were well, and saw no evil." The Queen of Heaven, or the Queen of the Sky, apparently treated the Israelites well. That sounds like Christians today, doesn't it? God found me a house I could afford to buy. God cured my mother's foot fungus, toe fungus. God made sure I had enough money to fix my car when it tore up, and on and on and on. Was it true that the Queen of Heaven helped the Israelites? They thought so, just as strongly as people today think Yahweh does these things. But just because good things happen, that doesn't mean Yahweh did them any more than good things happening to the Israelites meant the Queen of the Sky did them. If indeed Yahweh is the only real God, maybe he should have made himself known rather than hiding in the clouds and pretending nobody can see him. Some people did see him, but that's another story. Yahweh wasn't real, and he isn't real. He isn't any more real than the other gods mentioned in the Bible, or any gods concocted in the minds of men throughout history. He wasn't and isn't any more real than Barnabas Collins. And that's why Yahweh was jealous of the other gods. They were just like him and on the same level with him. And hey, Yahweh might be jealous of Barnabas Collins too, or the monster under the bed. He might resent the power we let these other monsters hold over us. Who knows? The tribal God of Israel is just like the tribal gods of Sumeria, Egypt, Greece, Rome, Ireland, and everywhere else. As I've said before, Prince William doesn't play cricket with Prince Charming, and the Duchess of Cambridge doesn't sit down to tea with Cinderella. Real gods, real princes, real duchesses, and real monsters don't interact with fake ones. If Yahweh battled fake gods, then Yahweh is fake too. But hey, again, maybe you should worship all the gods and fear all the monsters, just to be safe. Of course, some of the gods, and particularly Yahweh, are jealous and won't tolerate your worship of other gods. So, to quote Baby from Dirty Dancing, you can't win no matter what you do, Johnny. My advice? buy a bunch of scarves and turtlenecks and wear them religiously to prevent vampire bites. Also, box in the bottom of your bed so monsters can't get to you. As for the gods, just try to stay under their radar. Don't be too good, or they'll sick Satan on you to prove your loyalty to them, or maybe even sacrifice you for the sins of others. And don't be too bad, or they'll have the earth open up and swallow you, or let the worms consume you. Y'all be safe out there. And by that, I don't mean from gods and monsters. I mean from germs and viruses and bacteria and real villains. Because those things are worth thinking about and evading. The gods, on the other hand, are just monsters. They're just things that go bump in the night. They're just figments of our superstitious minds that are born out of our irrational fears. You don't need to fear Barnabas Collins. Whip those covers off. You don't need to fear the monster under the bed. And you don't need to fear the monster in the sky. Thanks for watching. Bye.